My name is Jacob and this is Jacob Eats Good. Today I'm going to make corn tortillas. Corn tortillas is a really easy recipe. It's just 2 ingredients, water and masa harina. Everyone loves a good handmade tortilla and it's a great thing for you to learn how to do at home and a really awesome way for you to up your taco game. This is my favorite masa harina, sourced from Oaxaca, Mexico. If you're not willing to go out and spend the money on something like this though, the common stuff you'll find in the grocery store is under the name brand Masienda. The basic ratio that I use for making corn tortillas is about 1 part masa to 3/4 parts warm water by volume, as well as 1 pinch of salt. Slowly add your warm water to your masa, mixing it until it comes together looking a bit like wet sand. Once you've reached this stage, get in there with your hands and start to knead your masa together. This is something that you don't need to worry about over kneading and making tough, like say a flour tortilla or a biscuit, as there's no gluten in masa harina, so feel free to knead this stuff away. Once the masa has come together, I like to dump it out on my work surface, to knead it a little more and to see how wet it is. You're looking for something around the consistency of Play-Doh here. If you think it needs a little bit more water, add a couple drops at a time by either pouring it into your hands or on top of the masa. This is about the final consistency you're looking for, something that's not so wet that it sticks to your hands, and something that's not so dry that it crumbles when you press it. At this point, I like to set it aside for about 20 minutes covered with a damp towel to let the masa fully hydrate. Now that your masa is rested, it's time to portion it out. For taco-sized tortillas, I like to make roughly ping-pong ball-sized pieces of masa. Now we're going to move on to pressing the tortillas. If you don't have a tortilla press, don't worry. You can totally do this by rolling them out with a rolling pin, or even smashing them under a pan, or even between a couple of books. Just be sure to line whatever you're using with some plastic wrap or some parchment paper. It's important to be pretty firm when pressing those tortillas, otherwise you're going to end up with something a little too thick and cakey. If you're using a tortilla press, go ahead and push down on that bar about as hard as you're willing to. Once your tortilla is pressed, transfer it into your hand palm side up and lay it down with your hand oriented in the same way. It's important to lay these down as gently as you'd imagine your grandma doing, as they have a tendency to stick if slapped too hard onto the cooktop. I'm using a thin carbon steel pan or a comal that's heated to around medium to medium high heat. I usually cook the tortillas for around 2 minutes each, flipping around every 30 seconds. As you finish the tortillas, it's important to take them and to transfer them into some sort of towel-lined container, or even just wrap in a towel on the counter for a minimum of 10 minutes. This is a crucial step in making tortillas, as if you were to take them straight off the stove and try to build a taco out of them, they'd be stiff and have a tendency to crack when folding. And no one likes a taco that falls apart, so don't forget to steam these in that towel for at least 10 minutes before building a taco. If you're making a bunch of these for a party or a gathering, it's totally fine to make them in the morning and leave them in that towel until it's time to serve, just don't forget to reheat them on the stove before. After steaming for about 20 minutes, my tortillas came out looking like this. Nice and soft and supple and ready to build the perfect taco. I would put these tortillas up against any store-bought. I could eat these all day by themselves, but you guys know me better than that. What would go great on this? That's right, a little bit of avocado. I really hope this has inspired you guys to make your own tortillas. It'll impress your friends, impress your family, and really add a lot of flair to your tacos. If you guys like this video, please subscribe for more like it. I hope you're all eating good and trying new stuff in the kitchen. Cheers!